Now, as 2024 comes to a close, we have seen an interesting year in real estate here in Southwest Florida. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to reflect on the year that happened and then make some predictions for what we will see in 2025. Now, if this is your first time on the channel, thanks so much for visiting. If you've been around for a while, you know every single month we dive in to the market numbers to help you better understand what is happening here in Southwest Florida when it comes to real estate and all things related to the local community. So what I'd like to do first is talk where the current state of the market is. Now, when we do this, we're looking at both Lee County, which is Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Estero, Bonita Springs, Lehigh Acres, and Collier County, which is primarily Naples, Golden Gate Estates, Marco Island. Now, as we get into it, we're going to look at our year-over-year changes. So as we get into our solds, this is for single-family residences in the two areas. So in Collier County, over the last 30 days, we had 287 closed sales. That's down 19% year over year. That's a very substantial decrease year over year. And then we had 886 in Lee County, which is down 14%. So you see the pace of sales, or the number of sales, is actually slower than it was in 2023, which was slower than it was in 2022, which was slower than it was in 2021. Now, 2021 was a blockbuster year. It was a very unusual post-COVID year. So the fact that we're sort of getting more into normal territory is not bad. That's not a bad thing. Now, median price, this one's very interesting. In Collier County, we're looking at a $755,000 median price of a single family home. That's up 1%. So we're going to call that relatively flat compared to last year, but that is slightly down month over month compared to where we were last month at $770,000. Now, $400,000 is the median price of a single family home in Lee County. That is exactly flat, so 0% appreciation compared to last year. However, month over month has increased, so the prices have increased in Lee County compared to where they were last month at $382,000 was the median price for a single family home then. Days on market, we're looking at 70 days. If you put your home on the market, is the median amount of time that a home will take to get a contract, to go under contract in Collier County. That's up 35%. And then we're looking at 55 days in Lee County, which is up 20%. Now, the good news is those numbers are staying relatively the same. A few years ago, that was down into 7 days. You know, it was like 1 week, which was just crazy velocity. We don't have that situation right now. It's taking longer for homes to sell. Now, new listings, 557 new listings in Collier County. That's down 8% year over year. So a few less listings coming on the market than there were this time last year. And then we're looking at 1,606 new listings in Lee County. That's down 14% year over year. So less coming on the market than there was last year. Pending inventory, this is an indicator for us on how our future closings are going to stack up to where we were last year. We have 416 current pendings in Collier County. That's down 20% year over year. And then 1,219 pendings in Lee County. That's down 22% year over year. So down between 20 and 22% year over year for the pendings, which means that our closings next month are going to be lower than they were last year. Month supply, this is how much inventory we have. We have 7.4 months worth of inventory in Collier County. That's a 35% increase, and a 6.2 months of inventory in Lee County, which is up 22%. So you see we're between 6 and 7 months worth of inventory. Now, the majority of these numbers show that 2024 was slower than 2023. prices have been very flat, and so we're going to get into what all of this means. So right now, today, we have approximately 7 months worth of inventory. That puts us more into a buyer's market category than it does a seller's market. Generally speaking, 4 to 6 months would be equilibrium. If we get above that, that's our buyer's market. If we get below that, that's our seller's market. At one point a few years ago, we were down to 2 weeks worth of inventory because we were so far swung into a seller's market, and now we're at about 7 months worth of inventory, which gives the buyers the upper hand. And we can tell that that's happening because prices are not increasing. They're remaining flat compared to what they were in 2022, especially when they were rising at an incredible pace. So let's talk about some predictions for 2025. Now, as we look on a nationwide level, the chief economist of the National Association of Realtors, his name is Lawrence Yun, and people usually hold their hat on what he says because he's looking at all of the data. That's his primary job and what he is hired to do. He is showing a modest appreciation in 2025 and 2026 nationwide at about 2% per year. Not significant. However, he is looking at a 13.2% increase in the number of homes sold in 2025 compared to 2024, which is significant. That's a big deal to see us increasing the number of home sales. Now, he's also predicting that so that's 2025. 2026 is going to be a further increase, and it looks like 26, 27 will be another big real estate market. And so this is a big deal because this talks about the velocity of the homes that are selling, and we know as more homes sell, that means that there's more demand, that puts more upward pressure on pricing. Now, when it comes to mortgage rates, he's thinking that this year they're going to settle around the 6% range. That's sort of the new normal. So if you've been on the fence waiting for it to get back into the 3% range, that's probably not a great place to wait because that just doesn't look like it's in the cards to happen in 2025. Now, here locally, what are some of our predictions? We know now it is our winter season, our snowbird season. This is our high season. We're seeing a lot of traffic on the roads, and one of the questions that we had over the past year was, man, we had a couple of decent sized hurricanes, and does that scare people away? And the answer is no, it doesn't scare them away from the area. The homes are built to withstand hurricane winds. They are built for that. What we're seeing is a shift, however, away from the coast. People are a bit afraid of the storm surge because that's something that's a lot harder to deal with, especially in the older construction homes. So if you have something built in the 1950s, 60s, 70s that was built low lying and was not built up to the current flood standards, people are now very afraid of doing that, whereas in the past it was not a very big deal. Now, recently I was down in Key West, and Key West has really done very well when it comes to avoiding hurricanes. They had Hurricane Irma that kind of skirted by in 2017. It was a little east of there, so they didn't see all of the impacts of it. But there's so many low-lying homes that are in Key West, and I was just thinking about that area compared to our area, which you can get high above sea level, and high is a relative term obviously, but you can get away from the coast to where there's no potential of storm surge, and we have so many new construction options that I think are going to continue to do well in the overall marketplace. So that's what we're seeing in the overall market. I expect our sales to pick up in 2025. As a local market, we should see more homes sell in 2025. When it comes to price appreciation, I don't see anything in the works to say we're going to have significant price appreciation in the next year. However, these are all predictions. And as you know, we're always understanding and reacting to the data as it comes in. So if you have any questions about buying or selling in our local real estate market, me and my team would be happy to have a conversation with you about that. And as always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you doing that. Show a little love and have a blessed day. Thank you.